Welcome back to the channel, my dear students. So I am your faculty member of computer science. So today in this video, we will be learning some of the frequently asked questions of Python programming. जब भी हम Python program समझते हैं, we are understanding the logics. We are always keeping our time for learning the logics program वो सारा. आज इस वीडियो में हम frequently asked questions, ज़्यादातर जो हमारी मन में चलता है कि Python को ऐसा नाम क्यों दिया गया है. Many of us thought why Python is named so, what are the features. इससे पहले तो Java था, Java was actually dominating. हमारी जो प्रोग्रामिंग का जो भी मार्केट है, जावा वाज सच ए लैंग्वेज विच वाज डोमिनेटिंग. बट धीरे धीरे विथ टाइम हम पाइथन को क्यों यूज़ करने लगे और वो इतने कम टाइम में क्यों इतना ज़्यादा फेमस हो गया. इन दिस वीडियो वी विल बी लर्निंग समथिंग about Python programming and we will be covering frequently asked questions. So let's begin. Okay, so as I told, in this video we will be covering frequently asked questions about Python programming. जो भी हमारे मन में है. Usually whenever we are studying Python, we start asking our friends, right? कि इसको Python क्यों नाम दिए हैं? ऐसे कोई snake से related है क्या ये chapter? या क्यों इसको Python नाम दिया गया? So I have answer for you in this video. So the answer is something like this. Why Python programming is named as Python programming? You might be knowing this person like Guido van Rossum. Van Rossum was the developer of the Python programming. So what happened? He was very fond of reading books, scripts, etc. So क्या हुआ? When Guido van Rossum was reading the published scripts from Monty Python's Flying Circus. It was a comedy series which was developed by BCC. तो जब हमारे developer of the Python ने spend some time in reading this particular published scripts, so he was in the time this comedy series was actually developed at the time 1970. Do not confuse with this about with the development of the Python. तुम कभी ये मत समझना कि 1970 में हमारा पाइथन जो प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है दैट वाज डेवलप्ड. नो, दैट्स नॉट करेक्ट. ये उस साल का जमाना है व्हेन ए बीबीसी कॉमेडी सीरीज वाज एक्चुअली डेवलप्ड एंड इट्स नेम वाज मॉन्टी पाइथॉन्स फ्लाइंग सर्कस. And our developer of Python was spending time in learning this published script. तो क्या हुआ? But he was spending some of his time for developing a programming language. Then with changing time, he was always wanting कि मैं एक ऐसे programming language का नाम रखूं जो सुनने में थोड़ा fantasy लगे और लोगों को बहुत अच्छी तरह से याद भी रह जाए. So when Rossum thought he needed a name that was short, unique and slightly mysterious. So he decided to call the language as Python. So when he was developing this program Python, so he thought ki what should be the name of this programming language? We often have the question. So when he was developing Python language, he was thinking कि इसका नाम ये क्या रख लूँ जो सब इसको पहचाने. Like we are talking with our friends, Python means everybody can recognize that SAP के बिना this is just a programming language. Whenever we are thinking about Python, we have two things in our mind. One is the Python snake, and the next thing is our programming language. So this is due to this fantastic guy, Guido van Rossum, who named it as Python and was also the developer of our Python. Now, the next thing that comes to our mind is Python. What is Python? After knowing the name as Python, उसको वैसा नाम क्यों दिया गया? We have question in our mind, what is Python? So as discussed, Python is a very popular language. It was created by Guido van Rossum. He is the developer of the Python. And this was the year when we have got Python as our developed programming. Or Python is a programming language often used to build websites. Often used to build websites and software, automated tasks, and usually used for data analysis. What happened? Python को जब बनाया गया, every programming language is bring to this world because of some purposes. कुछ भी हमारा problem solving करने के purpose से ही हमारा ये Python language, जो भी language आता है हमारी world में, whenever developers are building this, they have a purpose behind it. And the purpose is this. The purpose was to build websites. You have often understood जब ये lockdown हुआ, when all the retailers and the offline shopkeepers have started shifting to websites for online selling things, etc. उनके लिए क्या जरूरत पड़ती थी? Programming language. और we know this कि programming language basically उसका use होता है हमारी building website के लिए. And this Python, by using this Python programming also, you can build a website. फिर क्या क्या? For developing some of the softwares, some applications, some softwares, for developing those kind of applications and softwares also, Python is playing a greater role. And for automated task, yes. What do we mean by automated task? Like in a calculator, you may be finding कि उसके अंदर भी there are some programming languages which are hidden, which are not shown to us, and that is working as a automated task only क्योंकि whenever we are giving some numbers to the calculator, automatically it is giving us the result then and there. कुछ वैसे ही काम के लिए automated task का मतलब ये है that a programming language will be made which will work just as an application, and that will be sold or that will be used by many of the users like us. और वो काम करता जाए means what happen? Automated means automatic का मतलब क्या है? It will be working automatically without the interference of the user. कुछ उसी तरह हम पाइथन को यूज करके कुछ ऐसे एप्लीकेशंस भी डेवलप कर सकते हैं जो एक ऑटोमेटेड टास्क जैसा काम करें, जिसमें ह्यूमन इन्वॉल्वमेंट की जरूरत ही नहीं. ऑटोमेटिकली इट विल बी डूइंग आवर वर्क इजियर. एंड द लास्ट थिंग दैट प्रेजेंट ओवर हियर इज डेटा एनालिसिस. डेटा एनालिसिस का मतलब क्या है? whenever datas are been gathered together, तो उसको एनालिसिस के लिए we need some of the big programming languages. So this Python is also playing a wide role in doing analysis of the data. Okay, then here is a definition of the Python. Python is a general purpose language. Its meaning is it can be used to create a variety of different programs and is not specialized for any specific problems. इसका मतलब क्या है? This is the definition which if in the examination teacher will be asking you any definition, you can gather these all lines in your examination and you will be getting full marks, no doubt about it. But ये last statement is very much important. Means हम क्या समझते हैं कि हाँ, Python को सिर्फ उसी problem के लिए बनाया गया है. हम ऐसे सोचते हैं ना, whenever we are having a solution to it, there is a problem, और उसी problem के लिए ही वो solution use होता है. Similarly, Python was not developed intentionally for solving any one problem. एक specific purpose के लिए कभी भी Python को develop नहीं किया गया. It was generally developed for doing many other tasks. बहुत सारे काम जो भी हैं, automated task हो गया, हमारा data analysis हो गया, ऐसे बहुत सारे काम के लिए हमारे इस Python को develop किया गया है. That's why here it has mentioned it can be used for variety of different programs, not only for specific tasks, but for building many varieties of programs also we need Python. Now we will be moving to another most important part of this lecture, that is why Python is so popular. Python इतना popular क्यों है? वो तो आया हमने देखा 1991, right? 1991 में एक programming language if is coming to the market and the people are using in this way, so there would be some reason behind it. तो वो reason भी I will be explaining you. अगर अब तक आपने जो भी देखा आपको मजा आ रहा है and you like this kind of videos, then you can subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will be getting latest updates. So why it becomes a popular language? Our question is this. The Python language is one of the most accessible programming language available because it has simplified syntax and not complicated. What happened? ये Python के साथ भी नहीं हुआ है, बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम के साथ ऐसे ही हुआ है. जब भी ना, whenever this developers are trying to build any of the programming language और वो market में कुछ भी अगर programming language लाने के लिए वो try कर रहे हैं ना, then the reason behind this is to make easier, because before it was C, then C++. Similarly, Java came. Now this Python can be easily learnt by the common person like you and me. हम जैसे लोगों जिसको प्रोग्राम के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं पता, अगर उनको भी बिठा के वी विल बी लर्निंग पाइथन, नो, इट विल बी वेरी मच इजियर टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड। द पर्पज इज दिस, कोई भी सीख सकता है। जावा को सीखेंगे, इफ आई विल बी सेइंग अबाउट सी, इट्स हाईली कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज। C is a very highly complicated programming language, but Python is a very easy programming language because it's just like we are writing text, like we are writing messages, like we are writing any lines in the English. Similarly, Python can be written by following some of the formats or the syntaxes. तो simplified syntax है इसका. Syntax means, syntax का मतलब क्या है? Many of will be having the questions. Syntax are nothing but the formats. Whenever a program is written, it has its own format. तो हमारा जो Python का जो भी formats है, जो भी syntax है, that is written in a very simplified manner. बहुत ही easy तरीके से we can write Python. That's why, and not complicated, as I told, which gives more emphasis on natural language. As I told, natural language means English language. Means anybody can learn this, I told, right? Anybody can learn this. Like it's just speaking English and writing English. This Python is playing this same role. Then due to the ease of learning and uses, Python codes can be easily written and executed much faster than any other programming language. The story behind becoming its popular is behind why Python becomes so popular. Because the name itself is very fascinating, right? उसका नाम ही कुछ इतना fascinating, इतना enjoyable वाला है, Python. So वो एक story है why Python become popular, and the second story is that it is easy to write, learn, access, and also to execute. As the language is very easy to learn, तो whenever we will be writing the programming और उसमें error भी कम आना शुरू हो जाएगा, और error अगर कम आएगा, similarly this program will be executing much faster. So for that purposes, our Python became so popular. Now the next part, what are the key features? What are the features that are present in Python? First is interpreted languages. What features are present in Python which makes it different from any other programming language? First one is the interpreted language. Interpreter का मतलब ये है कि whenever we are writing the code, actually there are two different types. One is interpreter, another one is the compiler. Okay, whenever our program will be written line wise, so what happen वहाँ पर क्या होगा? If it is an interpreted language, उसमें क्या होगा? Each line of the code will be executed. When each line of the code will be executed, उसमें क्या होगा? Errors भी वो show करेगा, and accordingly we will be doing debugging. Debugging means rectifying the error. जैसे कि यहाँ पर लिखा है interpreted language, ये एक ऐसा language है जब भी हम कोई भी कोड लिखेंगे, line by line एक कोड execute होता जाएगा. Means each line will be executed, due to which the program will be errorless one time. क्योंकि एक एक line अगर हम rectify करके जाएंगे, then it would be very easy for the execution of the program. As it is an interpreted language, so it is a popular language. And the second is highly portable. Highly portable means what? Portable means can be carried anywhere. Similarly, Python can be written in many of the operating softwares like our Windows, Unix, Linux, Macintosh. In these all kinds of operating systems, you can write Python programming. So it is told as that highly portable, or we can also say it as platform independence. Platform independence is the computer word which you will often find in your books, but highly portable is also understandable. Then the third thing is extensible. Extensible का मतलब क्या है? It can run. Python program can also be run in our many of the platforms like C and C++ and so on. है ये. It can run over any of the platforms similarly like C++, C and so on. And the last is GUI. GUI, what is the full form of this GUI? Just think for 1 second. Okay, its full form is graphical user interface, or it is also said as graphic user interface. Graphic user interface का मतलब क्या है? Anybody can interact with this kind of program. User interface हम बोलते हैं ना कि ये जो system है, ये जो operating system है, ये जो phone है, it has good user interface. So accordingly, it is graphical user interface. So in this programming language, it is graphical user interface. Means easily any user can use this kind of program, and it can be easily accessible as well. Okay. So the last part of this video, what are the applications of Python? The first is GUI-based desktop applications for building any kind of apps, desktop apps or mobile apps or any kind of apps that you are building that can be built through using Python language. And the second thing is image processing applications. You may be finding many kind of applications now have been built and are available in the Play Store for editing purposes, like for converting a 3D image to 2D, like for cutting down the background of the images. We are now using this kind of image softwares. Like those kind of image softwares can also be built by using the language Python. Okay, business and enterprise applications. Okay, so here it says, suppose I want to build any e-commerce website, जैसे कि Amazon, Flipkart हो गया, Bewakoof website, वो सारा हो गया. Those kind of websites or the e-commerce websites which are usually used for business purposes or enterprise or the small businesses, those kind of apps can also be built by using our Python programming language. And this is prototype. What do we mean by prototype? Prototype means like a blueprint to any of the operations or any kind of images or anything that we are building. We are calling it as prototype. So similarly, any kind of prototype that you want to build, that can also be done by using Python language. And the last thing is web and web frame applications. Means if you want to build any kind of web applications, you will need some web framework for it. और उस web framework को भी हम develop कर सकते हैं by using the Python. This web framework will help us to build our application in an easier manner. So, if you have not yet watched my previous video, which I have done on Java, you can just visit our channel, Bidwan Classes, and you can watch this fantastic video on the Java. Okay? If you like this video and if you find this valuable, then please like this video and subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will be getting the latest updates. Thank you so much. And please do not forget to subscribe this video. Thank you.